Hey there, Z Nation fans. Welcome to another episode of the Z Nation After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight, we are talking about Season 4, Episode 11, Return to Mercy Labs. Guys, we have two very special guests with us in studio tonight, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Gosh darn it, if the ending songs for this season just haven't been super on point.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Michelle, you made it a point that you want to give a special shout out whenever there's an amazing artist on the show.
Oh, absolutely. And this is Jason Gallagher, and he's been with the show since the beginning, and he wrote the intro.
Oh,
and
that's
he's
so
just
great.
an amazingly talented person.
Yes. This song, it makes me feel feelings. So,
This whole episode makes me feel feelings.
I know, right? We're going to have to talk about that in a minute. But let's not waste any time. Hey there, Z Nation fans. Tonight we are talking about, I guess not the penultimate episode per se before the season finale, but yeah, kind of the penultimate
week.
For sure. Let's not waste any time. Let me introduce my fantastic panel. To my left, Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies. You can follow me all over the social medias at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. And to my left.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Cullen. You can find me at Michelle_Cullen on Twitter.
And to her left is a lovely new addition to our panel, the lovely Cherry Davis.
Hey everybody, you can follow me, I'm Cherry the Geek, Twitter and Instagram, Cherry_LA.
And I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can tweet at me at the Menguin, that's TheMenguin. We are going to be keeping an eye on the hashtag ABTVZNation, and Katie's got you guys covered on the live chat for those of you guys watching with us live. And now we have a very special guest in studio with us right now, the writer, director, and producer of this episode, Jodi Binstock. Woo!
Everybody.
Welcome back to the studio.
Thank you so much. I love being with you guys.
So you are solely responsible for breaking our hearts this week.
Yeah. Well, I had a little help from my boss, but yes, indeed.
You have some explaining to do, Jodi.
You got some explaining to do.
But we will also be having, you guys might notice that there's some space on the couch. Next to Jodi, we are going to be having Kellita in studio tonight.
Well, this actually answers a lot of your questions. She's been beaming up and back from the stratosphere. That's where she's getting all her info.
We're going to have that hologram.
Yeah, it turns out Warren's been a hologram this whole time. And yeah, we're going to dig into that. LA traffic being what it is, she is on her way. So we have a place for her on the couch when she gets in. But let's go ahead and dig into it. Guys, again, not necessarily the penultimate episode, but yeah, this is the penultimate before we get to our two-part season finale next week.
We call it the Marcia.
The Marcia?
The Marcia.
Really?
Marcia means it's the shot before the Abby Singer, which is the shot before the Martini, which is the last shot.
Oh, that's a clever one.
I like the way you guys think.
It's a little
Wow.
But so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this. How are we all feeling knowing that this is basically the episode before the finale?
Well, I was pretty dang surprised to see that on Twitter on Friday, not gonna lie. Like, by the way, we have a double feature. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all a little surprised. Though it's good. I think it's very good because we don't want to compete with Christmas.
That,
Very
very true.
valid feeling.
This way everybody will get to see it, and it's a mouthful. You know, everybody will come out of there feeling like, okay, and then everybody hit the boards to get us a pickup, which we have not yet heard.
Yes.
I wish we had, but
Hashtag Renew Z Nation.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
guys,
Let's
it's
do it.
Hashtag
hashtag
like
Renew
crazy.
Z Nation. Everybody, right now, do it. Tweet them.
If you haven't already
SyFy.
done so, definitely
Yes.
tweet at SyFy because we need to see how all of this wraps up.
Yes, please.
I have to know what's going on with Andrew for sure.
Well, I mean,
Well, he's
next
dead
week-
now.
Next week we're gonna have a cliffhanger in which it looks like everyone may or may not die, and then hey, we're 3 for 3 so far.
That's right. We'll go 4 for 4.
I'm absolutely certain of that.
Fingers crossed. But for me, I'm looking.
Fingers crossed there will be a cliffhanger that will just murder us all.
I'm hoping fingers crossed for season 5.
Oh,
you
yes.
know what I mean.
Well, yes, that.
But for me, this episode definitely was. I feel like the emotional focus was very much on the character development that we've seen from Murphy throughout the course of this entire series. And I feel like we've seen him at some of his most vulnerable and, dare I say it, empathetic. Murphy has always been the type to, kind of screw other people over if it meant saving his own skin.
He's kind of been the a-hole.
Yeah, but this episode, I think more than any other, we really see him putting himself in someone else's shoes and going, yeah, I get it. I know how that feels.
Well, and that was very much what we set out to do when we wrote the episode, was have him faced with that and have the entire cast faced with a moral dilemma that, that makes it a deeper episode than just, coming upon something, and that they actually have to deal with each other and where they've evolved to in the 6 years of the apocalypse and like that.
Everyone is always on Murphy, but when it comes right down to it, he never had a choice. He was illegally tested upon. He was pretty much stalked by everyone, being told he was going to be the savior. And when he tried to be the savior, they told him, "You're doing it wrong."
It's true.
Yeah.
Though I don't think that many people are going to go, poor Murphy.
Yeah. He was in jail for mail fraud.
He not a violent criminal.
White collar crime.
Yeah.
I will say, I say poor Murphy whenever we start talking about Lucy.
Of course.
Yeah, that was a
Absolutely.
no-win situation, and he missed out on most of her life, not intentionally.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
grew
it's
up
heartbreaking.
literally in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. No, this episode has me just saying, poor Andrew Teller. Just 9 years in a tube.
Yeah.
8 years in a tube.
Yeah, can you imagine someone leaving you there?
This
Now-
entire poor family.
And
Our,
poor
our child has a
Mrs.
bullet hole
Teller.
and is in a tube, and Mrs. Teller was a test subject and a scientist, and that really didn't go well for anyone involved. And then Mr. Teller went insane.
Now-
We're all doing super well, you guys.
Maybe this was meant to be a little bit ambiguous, but as far as Andrew Teller goes, and his state in terms of being in suspended animation for, as you said, 9 years, however long that was he conscious that whole time, or was it basically just like going into a coma where he wouldn't be aware of his surroundings?
Well, I think I think he was conscious enough to know that there were people there.
That's
Ooh,
horrible.
wow. Despite the bullet hole.
Well, and you saw his eyes dilate.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Oh,
there
that
was
poor baby.
reaction. There was brain waves happening.
Yeah, and Murphy was able to make at least some sort of connection as soon as they turned off the power.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
felt it.
That makes
That's so
everything in this
sad.
episode so much worse.
So much worse.
I totally thought he's just sleeping. No.
No, his eyes dilated, and then I was just like, no, that's rude. I have to say it 'cause normally I'm just saying it to my TV, but you're right in front of me. That's rude.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. It's
Thanks.
just a rare opportunity.
to talk back. I get that.
I think that's the kindest phrase I've seen for that.
That's rude.
That's rude.
Now, talking about this episode as a whole and sort of the tragedy of the Teller family, we come back to Mercy Labs, which, not gonna lie, I feel like it's safe to say 3/4 of this panel is super attached to.
I
as
was
a location.
waiting for the flashbacks to be like, will there be any footage?
No.
Will there be any footage?
Super selfish and
No.
self-indulgent. But kind of looking back at the start of season 3, when we were initially at Mercy Labs, we knew at that point, what tragedy had befallen Dr. Teller's wife, and we knew that something terrible had happened to their son. Was this always the plan, or was this something that you guys came up with for season 4 of hey, why don't we go back to Mercy Labs and really dig into what happened here?
It was more the latter. That why don't we go back and dig into what happened? Remembering that we talked about Andrew still being alive, and that it was an issue between Teller and his wife, and what happened to Andrew, and then, we never found out. But if you remember, at the end of the movie, they kidnapped Teller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you knew he was coming back.
Yeah.
So there was always those little cliffhangers hanging there. And it was a way to bring the movie back in, the thread of, what happened through those years.
Mm-hmm.
So for that set, for the Mercy Labs set, did you leave it as it was, or did you have to go back and rebuild it?
Well, interestingly, some of the advantage of where we shoot are the worst places in the world. Let's just say that.
The aluminum plant, right?
There.
Yeah, the Kaiser aluminum plant in Spokane, Washington.
That giant
And,
lithium mountain.
Exactly.
And the buildings you're not allowed to go in anymore because the walls are bowing out.
How did you know all this? That's very true.
It's almost like we were there.
You've done your research. Well, and so not a lot of people frequent it, let's just say. So the inside was exactly as we had it. The outside there had been a lot of vandals. That people had broken
Wow.
windows, and interestingly, we took advantage of that. Like, I don't know if you remember the shot when Doc and Murphy and Sarge are going through the lab with their flashlights, and Doc says, it's creepy, really creepy, and Murphy says, like this, and you see his face come in through a big hole in the glass. That was, thank you, vandals. Nice. We'll just work with it. We'll work with what we've got.
Thanks, vandalism.
But we have an extraordinary art department. The production designer is named Vince DeFelice, and the set deck, Colin Redmond and Aaron Fink, the two guys in charge of that, they know how to recreate just about anything you need them to recreate. So what wasn't there, we brought in, and, we took the liberty of saying, well, it's 2 years later, but we wanted enough red and enough decimation that it looked like. And I remember on the day, there's a little trivia, on the day, you have all these production meetings and you work with the costumers and the special effects makeup guys. And so we knew that we were going to have a couple of dead bodies laying around. But on the day when we got there, there weren't enough. And I was like, all there are a couple of dummies. This isn't, well, that's what you talked about, Jodi. That's all you asked for. Okay, well, I was wrong.
We need more dead people.
We need more dead people. So God bless our PAs. They got into red suits. Ashley Russell sprinted and went and got the red suits from last year because we had them still on the truck. And a couple of PAs laid down there and played dead for the entire time that we were there. They were wonderful.
That's amazing.
That's so fun. What a fun PA job.
Right? It is. Our PAs are amazing. And we have a lot of interns, too.
Yeah. Well, and how often do you get to say stuff on set that's, hey, we need more dead people here?
Yeah.
and again, it's very selfish on our part because we were actually extras in the movie. So it's very selfish on our part to say, but I have to say, like, again, completely removing myself from an objective critic and just being completely self-indulgent. It was so nice to see those red suits.
It was nostalgic as hell.
It was nice to see the bioluminescent zombies again. It was nice to see the bits of Kraken that were still laying around and running around in some cases.
Like, I remember this place. Oh, God, there's a child.
I don't remember that.
That's a new twist.
I love that.
And it was
zombie.
nice to be able to look at it through the eyes of Sarge, to use her as a character because she hadn't been there. So we got to explain some of, for those who didn't watch season 3.
Yeah.
Is that Kellita? She's walking in.
We can hear the doorbell going from in here. So it's like, yep, that sounds like it.
Helmut Z was so awesome. I loved him, and they were playing like Toro Toro. That was so fun. Did you guys script that out, or was
No,
that
that
just...
was something I came up with the stunt coordinators.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And the stunt guy, Jordan Hansen, was incredible. And, we're really careful on set. The stunt coordinator is very, very cautious. He never does anything that would make people in jeopardy. And at one point, when 10K was about to trip him, he comes flying and he stopped. And he says, I gotta stop, because he couldn't see.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so we had to stop the thing, and he felt so bad, and I'm like, are you kidding? No. You get
We'd like you to not die.
You get to not fall. You get to not fall on your head. You did good.
Oh my gosh, how funny. I didn't realize he really couldn't see. I assumed that he could see.
He could see. I mean, through the helmet. The actor could see.
Okay.
Right up until that last part.
Until he couldn't see.
Right up until he
Then we
can't.
stopped the presses. Yeah.
Speaking of the stunt coordination, and just completely switching to a different
she
part of
is.
the episode.
Shall I get up
We
to the
have-
very end? There
all
we
right.
go.
Hello.
Hey there!
Hi, Kellita.
Who was right?
We
Same colors.
Oh, you guys are matching.
fantastic.
That's
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I'm not even. Oh, never mind.
Oh no, take your time.
That's all right.
You're good.
LA traffic is insane.
Oh my
So
gosh.
And I'm coming from Northridge.
Wow.
Are you
dang.
shopping?
It's okay. We're here.
So,
We're hardcore.
well-
It's good.
While you're getting set up, I wanted to one of the things I wanted to dig into with this episode is 10K, because 10K we
It's a
haven't gotten
bad day.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad day from him. And to be honest, he's been mostly color commentary for the last few episodes. So this is the first time in a little while, probably since he and Red have been separated, where you really get to dig into just how much he misses her and how big of a loss it is, and he's having to deal with losing 5K again at the same time. So how did you guys feel when those flashbacks started?
I'm in pain. I think this is what pain feels like.
Ooh, cry.
I like them. I first of all, I haven't seen her since we shot it. Yu, I call her Yu. We call each other Yu.
Yu.
Yes, it's uterus unite, union. But no, I thought it was great. You were asking them, but I'm sorry. I got excited.
This is for everybody.
I got excited, and I thought that I like how we did the numbers in my head.
It worked, didn't
Yeah,
it?
because I like it wasn't so pronounced, right?
Great.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Good,
And then what was the other thing? Because I was nervous about my performance in one little scene when I was talking to Citizen Z and Kaya.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
It played great.
No, you did great.
You were nervous.
I was there. I know what happened.
Come closer to me.
Oh, no problem.
Students be friends.
What's this?
So
It's an
talking
armrest.
It's your cushion? You need it?
I might
The
actually.
people who are listening on iTunes are like, what?
I was like, are we getting manicures? That's great.
Yeah.
that sounds
That's for after the
fabulous.
show.
That would be cute, though. Haha.
That would be fun, especially little skulls. Oh, that would be adorable.
Or little Z Nation.
Yeah.
Get the shield painted on the
Shield.
side. Yeah.
Which,
What do
by
y'all
the
think of
way,
the season? What you think?
the season
We're
as a
enjoying the
whole?
hell out of it.
Enjoying it so much.
Awesome, right?
It's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Right.
emotionally powerful. It's been emotionally powerful in moments and really, really funny to me the last couple seasons, but this
Right.
entire season is feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
when it's
sums it up, right?
when it's been serious, like this episode, and it's gotten super dark, it resonates a lot. But then when it wants to be funny and comedic, like the last few bottle episodes,
Yeah.
it's still the comedy is still so on point.
We've murdered 3 children this season.
What's your point?
We've murdered 3 children this
Well-
season. So
We didn't.
that's
No,
true.
we didn't.
We, as in the show, has murdered 3 children.
gonna say,
this
wait.
season.
We've done enough grown-ups. Equal opportunity.
You can't have children during the zombie apocalypse.
It's hard.
It's hard to raise a
It's hard
kid.
to have the men.
It's hard to get a little love in. Can we talk about Alaska?
Oh yes, yes.
Kaya was having none of it. Just like, we're doing things. Come on, we're working on things. Can the
As-
apocalypse wait?
As dark as this episode was, gosh darn it, if family time up at Northern Lights wasn't just
Wasn't that cute?
absolutely
Oh
was
my
really
God! How
cute.
about the little boy? Is darling.
Is he great?
God, I love cheese.
He's
Was
got
he a
and he's got his
one-taker?
own Twitter now. I had his mommy get him a Twitter. It's called it's at JZ son of CZ.
Oh my gosh, so
I'm
cute.
sorry. Who came up with that?
Nobody.
Oh my God! He was so good.
He was really good.
He was
really
good, and he was very
and
charming.
DJ
'cause
was
I did meet him.
wonderful with him.
Well,
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
well.
he totally made him his own son, and they just adored each other.
Yeah. No, it was
good.
great.
He
I
didn't-
enjoyed the episode.
He didn't get too scared with the zombie on set.
Well, no, and as a director, I made a point of I introduced him to the stuntman first, and then showed him periodically as he started getting the applications put on, so that he knew who was underneath, and he thought it was cool.
See, that's a uterus.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
taking care of the boy.
Well,
Let's not traumatize the little
yeah,
kid.
what you're taking
Yeah.
care of is his emotional side,
Right.
right? So that he can realize
so he
he's
can
just
be
playing.
okay.
Yeah, he's just playing, which is why it came off so well.
Thank you. Thank
He
you.
was adorable. I was like,
But you
oh,
guys
I have to adopt a baby.
started talking at the beginning before Kellita got here about the scene where Murphy, where they were realizing that Andrew was alive in the moral dilemma, and I kind of wanted to stave that off till she got here because that was some meaty stuff that
Yeah.
we did.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Warren having to make tough choices. She's always been the member of the team to make the tough choices.
Don't they put it on the uterus? Don't they always? That's all I'm saying.
They always pass the buck. But like for this season, having to make the tough choices probably comes as even more of a challenge for Warren because she's not entirely sure what's been going on in her own mind. So how, like, talking about that from a performance standpoint, have you found this season to be more challenging than the prior seasons?
Not challenging, but I had to be more invested for sure. I enjoyed it. I like taking those rides. I mean, I'm tardy now because I'm coming from a show that I do, a comedy show. But I like when writers, I like to bring what the writer intended and take it beyond that. You know, I enjoy the character, period. Let me just go back there from the first time I did this interview here, is that you don't get characters like this. You know, people don't really write women like this, you know, so.
That are just staunch leaders, that are just the leader, period. No explanation, just she's the one that rose to the top. She's the one that everybody, and I love that line of 10Ks as they're walking in these, if I'm going to get to Red, I know that following Warren is the best chance I've got to finding her.
I know. I was like, did I read that? That was great. I love that little I call them 2 nickels. I love that 10K.
The women on the show are so well done. I mean, I love SyFy, but they act like women don't really exist except to be damsels in distress. For you all, as a writer who does the characters, how do you sort of convince everyone that it's okay to have a strong female character as well as playing a strong female character?
Especially a network. Oops.
Well,
Is this Spike?
It's actually, it's
just water.
actually just straight vodka.
It's just water.
straight vodka.
Oh, I would have choked. I'm a wine girl. I'll leave it right here.
Do you need a little
No,
tether? Do you need a little tether?
Oh, look, that's what's happening.
You can
Look,
pull
she
the
took
little
care of me.
table closer
I
to you
always
if you
do.
want.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You know, accolades have to go to the showrunner, Carl Schaefer, because ultimately it's his decisions. And he's the one that decided that Warren would be the leader of the pack. Season 1.
Was that before or after Garnett died?
I liked Garnett.
Me too.
Well, it was always
That was the plan from
it was
the
always
start,
planned from the beginning that Garnett would only live for 6 episodes. So so we knew that, you know, and she knew that. I mean, the actress knew it. The character didn't.
Right, and the actress didn't know who was gonna rise after that.
No,
either.
it's true.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
It was always known to be an ensemble, you know,
but
group.
it still is.
It still is. But so a lot of it goes to Carl's credit. And you know, there are a couple of female writers in the writers' room, Jen Derwingson and Delondra Williams, and you know, we always push. You know, and I think Carl wants that. He wants that voice. A lot of the Z Nation audience is female. So it's not necessarily what you would think that it's, it's zombies, it's killing, it's going to be all guys and testosterone. It's not the case.
It's not just a bunch of guys getting angry at each other and killing things. It's such a nice change.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I
love it.
No offense to any of the male guests that we have that we've had on in the past, but I just really, really love the fact that it's all ladies in this room right now. Like,
Come on,
Right.
we should make T-shirts. We should make T-shirts or little bracelets or something.
Oh, friendship
Yeah.
bracelets would be the best.
Or belts.
We'll use
Ooh, belts. Ooh, we came up with something.
Talking about the shift that Warren has taken in this season, what do you guys think of her primary weapon this season being a shield?
I was confused. Because I didn't know what to do with it.
Make
I was
like
where am I
Captain America.
Where am I supposed to put this? I was like,
and
do I get a
And it's always
side belt?
challenging for the actors because we write things in the writers' room that seem like a great idea. It's like, okay, the main title always has the street signs coming in. So what if we give that to Warren? That'll be great. But the thing that you don't always consider is
calling
how
the actor.
is going to be able to use their hands.
or where am I going to put the shield?
Right. When my hands are busy, what do I do with it? You know, these are
And then
things
they gave me 2 canisters.
So you're like, how do I carry canisters and a shield at the same time?
I was like, well, just give me a watch then. Give me something else. I dare you to give me one more thing. One more thing.
You need to
a
shake
gun
How about
too?
giving me a man?
Right, to carry this.
Yeah,
to
hello.
carry all this
A
shit.
nice
Murphy,
valet.
get over here.
I mean, 10K was following you around for most of this episode, so.
Yeah.
I will say,
I love Lil Nat.
when you picked up the shield for the first time, I was like, oh, it's coming into play. Look at that full circle that they do right there. I
Yeah.
got really excited.
I like the symbolism of it, of
Yeah.
our main character, the primary weapon of this character being a shield, that is typically meant for protection.
Yeah.
So I really like the symbolism of that because it
That's
seems to be her job in this season, if her visions are to be believed, is that she's here to protect what's left of the world.
Man, right.
Exactly. And in the next episode, you'll see more of the shield being that prominent because maybe I started to understand it. And what I couldn't figure out oftentimes was they created this harness for me, but I could never figure out how to freaking do it. To put the shield on and take it off like smoothly at the same time. I was like, I'm gonna need one more year with this.
Hashtag Renew Z Nation.
Right. I was like,
Exactly. Good cue.
oh, yeah. There that is.
That's why you keep me.
So again, talking about the hard choices in this episode, when you guys saw the moral dilemma that Jodi
the
thrust
baby.
upon you guys,
Andrew.
were you at all surprised that, of course, Warren's going to be the one to make that call?
If I wouldn't have read it, I would have picked somebody else. Because of a moral thing. But I also realized to look at it from a place of mercying him. We couldn't touch him. So,
And that, she said it. His mother's dead. His father's dead. Nobody's coming back for him. It's worse.
It would be cruel
Leaving
to
him
leave
like a
there.
bug
and
in
he has a
amber.
bullet in his head. What he gonna do with us?
Yeah, and we don't know how to fix him.
No.
We haven't
We
seen
can't make him a
Sun-May
necklace.
in
Yeah, we
9
don't-
episodes.
And Doc ain't really a doctor.
Nope.
And he don't have that bag no more. So
What's he gonna
we
do?
done lost everything.
And as you pointed out, if he is in fact conscious this whole time, that is insanely
It's heavy.
cruel to leave
It's heavy.
him there.
Yeah.
Well, and one of
Yeah.
my favorite beats that she and Murphy have is when Murphy says he's looking at Andrew and Warren just shows up and he says, "Is this why you're here?" And she had to realize, no, I can't believe it, but no.
Right.
Yeah, you think Dr. Teller, would have sent somebody there solely for the purpose of saving or
his
mercying his son, but what she was doing there had absolutely nothing to do with that. That was
Right.
just sort of an accident that they stumbled across that. Now, talking about that, again,
And maybe he wanted us to check up on him.
maybe that could very well have been like, he's like, she can get canisters here, and here, but why don't I send her over there and make sure that she gets those canisters specifically?
Right.
I feel like Dr. Teller was playing the long game with Andrew. Like, right now, there is this world-ending thing that's going to happen, and there is this human that we can maybe have prevent that. So she's going to go do that. It's going to be great. And then when this Zona stuff calms down or blows over, or if I manage to escape, I'll go back and get him myself. Going cannibalistic and insane was not part of the plan.
Right.
But I
Exactly.
think he
There you
thought
go.
that. I think he thought that he would be able to take care of it himself at some point in the future.
Well, he did
point.
never
and then
expect to
couldn't.
be kidnapped.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true too.
You know?
Good point. Good point. Okay, you better watch the show.
She's paying attention.
Right, I should have called her, gave her a script a week ahead. You could have got it broke it down.
I would not object to that.
If you look,
I would not object to that. Just
Hashtag
saying.
renew. I'll be calling you. And we're you, so.
if you look over yonder, someone over there is taking notes.
I have many notes.
Oh.
I have been wondering if maybe Warren was implanted with some sort of tech device, and that's why she's getting all these messages and being led places. Because I've been talking to other people on Twitter, Z Nation. We've been obsessing over it, and that's what I've come up with.
I'm fully on like the brainwashing subliminal messages train because we don't know what they were doing while she was unconscious for 2 years in Zona, aside from putting her in creepy underwear and giving her pedicures while she was unconscious.
And clearly.
What the hell?
Well, and interesting in
And
this
changing
world,
her hair somewhere in there.
I like the blonde. I think
do.
I think you look very stylish for the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, you know what? I can rock that blonde hair, I think.
Wow. I still was confused.
she didn't love it.
I didn't. Because I don't know if, it's explained that
She grew to love it.
it's a biological
Yeah.
Yes.
thing. So,
Yeah.
no, I didn't really like it. But like I say, it's my job to do what I'm supposed to do. So not really judge it in a way where
And let me
it's
tell you,
Kellita.
there's nobody more professional that I've ever worked with in all of my years than this woman.
Oh.
I mean that. She shows up knowing her lines. You never have to worry about that. She is always spot on. She brings it every single time. I don't know if you guys remember in episode 4, the one that Keith directed, there was a scene in the RV where they're all going at her.
Mm-hmm. The intervention.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, no other actor brings it for every other actor. Like every time she hit that emotional beat so that they had something to work off of. When we were not on her coverage, when we're looking at 10K, when we're looking at this one and that one, she's the real deal.
I was thinking about my hair.
Liar.
You are in it to win it, sounds
No.
like.
Oh my gosh.
I
that's
just
funny.
I enjoy Warren. I like her.
I love
I
her.
know. I should take notes from her. I like her. I enjoy her ride. Like I say to Carl all the time, I look at this as an adventure. So I don't judge it from a place of, oh, I don't get to do this, or why I'm not getting ready to do that. And, and maybe because Carl's so ahead of me, that it's just fun to do because he's giving me a little playground, and I get to play with a great ensemble that helps me believe my character, and then our backdrop helps me believe my character.
You're
which
welcome
is,
for Kaiser and for the
well,
crappy places.
I wasn't
we have
gonna
to shoot.
I wasn't gonna say the locations out because I don't want nobody to misinterpret my
Enthusiasm?
yeah. But but it helps me believe. It helps me to really show up and really be in it. I don't know how to pretend. I just know how to just say, oh, this is the problem. This is where I'm at. There's no real substitution. We are in danger. We gotta go. Yeah, when I'm driving, it's a green screen, but I'm driving. I mean it. I'm out of here.
She is.
Yeah, and we gotta hit that.
Amazing.
We gotta hit that turn. I'm hitting it. Yes.
I feel like that's an excellent mindset for Warren in this season because Warren doesn't quite understand what's happened to her or what these visions mean. And to the point where for a little while, she was willing to just completely ignore them because they were making the rest of the group uncomfortable.
Right.
So I feel like definitely just being in the moment is probably the best way to kind of embrace this character.
Well, I had a director say to me because I think maybe it was the second episode, and I was like, "Oh God, I don't know what the freak I'm doing. I hope this is working." And he heard me talking to myself, or maybe Warren was talking to Kellita. I need you to pull it together, sister. And he said, "I think it's best you don't know." It was Abrams Cox, and he said, "Don't try to figure it out. Go with it." I was like, ooh, do not give me permission to be confused. Not do that. That would be great. That means I can come in here on Robitussin. Just be like, this is what I think. But no, it was, like I asked Carl before, I said, how do you write someone like her? I was like, do you like to sit in your backyard and smoke some weed and just trip out? And he was like, no. He said, what I do is I don't see the gender. I just see the situation and what would this person do, not what would this woman do or what this man would do. What would this person do or what should this person do? And I was like, deep.
That's good.
That is good.
Yeah, that's great. So when we get to the next project, that's the kind of writer I need. Yeah, indeed. Hashtag renew.
Hashtag renew.
That should go on the bill.
Renewsy nation. Renewsy nation.
Uh-oh.
Renewsy nation.
Keep the
Renewsy
critters
nation.
going.
Right.
I would like to ask a slightly lighter scene, in a sense, when you are unlocking all of the locks and you're in your zone and it's like an escape room, but you're trying to get in the box instead of out.
Right.
And you snap out of it, and then you tell Nat's character 10K to hit you. How many takes did that get, and what was it like working that scene and filming that scene?
He didn't want to hit me. And even though he's not going to hit me, he still didn't even want to give that force. So it was kind of easy to be like, you better hit me.
I love the eye roll.
I was like, oh, God.
That's all you got? Come on.
Right.
We've got 5 days to film this episode. We don't have time for you to mess
Oop,
around.
and we was in the third day. But
Oh, dang.
that's funny. I didn't even realize I rolled my eyes. I
You did.
I didn't even realize.
There is an epic eye roll.
I didn't even realize I did it because I'm in it. I'm like, okay, he's like my little brother. I need to really stop playing because I need to unlock this stuff and we need to get out of here.
Need you to snap me back into the vision.
Yeah.
Hit me.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and it was great. And the first time he tried to hit me and I grabbed him and he was like, oh. I was like,
And he hauled off and boom.
I think probably my favorite, visual effect from this episode, we were talking about it, in terms of like the words popping up. I think my favorite was the arrows, like the arrows just appearing.
Up, down, down.
Yeah,
Left,
that was
right,
my
B, A,
favorite.
start.
Cool.
Yeah.
I made them get that because I went to an escape room.
That I was gonna say
In
that's what reminded me
Oh,
of
you
it.
did.
Yes, with my daughter Logan and her friend Madison, and that was one of the locks, and I
Yep.
was like, oh, you gotta get this. I want that lock.
I was looking at the locks. I was like, 10 more? I mean, how many
Almost
locks?
every type of lock.
We
A
did.
modern common.
Every type of lock.
I
And
could find.
the prop guys, Tom. And
Tom, the props. Tom.
first of all, he was
Lawson
trying to
is-
lock them for real.
He's a.
And then he said, well, here are the combinations. I said, are you serious right now? I said, first of all, it's 6 a.m. You better unlock these locks and act like they locked. Right? And he was like, okay, you sure? I'm so positive.
Just pretend like they're locked.
So positive. I didn't have my turkey bacon. I'm positive.
Because all you need is for one of the tumblers to be slightly out of place, and then that take is ruined because it's not going to open.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And now here we go. And I can't see that well. And they would, y'all be like, okay, really, what does she need?
Up,
Well, and then
up,
there was
down,
the
down.
goo. And then there was the goo.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was so
Everywhere,
gross.
right?
First of all, the goo, the blood, the dirt. Often I tell them, I don't need to be that bloody. I can fight. And it's not a documentary.
Right.
It's not. And I don't need to be that dirty.
Yeah,
Because I would have found a river.
for anybody who doesn't know, that fake blood is impossible to get off.
I have the heavy-duty makeup remover from Lush, and I'm very grateful that I brought it with us on our Spokane trip because we went through a lot of that.
Yeah.
Getting all the zombie makeup off and getting the blood off and
You
getting
probably
my
still-
hair unstuck from the blood.
And you probably still have some in your ear.
I was
Yep.
gonna say we were finding
Like
it in our
3 years
ear
later, yeah.
a week later.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
That's so you don't forget us.
Why is this red? Oh, it's just still the
It's a
fake blood.
souvenir.
I feel better.
Exactly.
Souvenir.
Right, okay. Okay. Things are happening with this.
I hate you.
I know.
hate you so much.
I know. This is why you
I love it. I love it.
Talking about all the goo and the effects, I think probably outside of the CGI effects, my favorite on-set practicals for this episode were seeing what became of the fungus zombies, because that level of decay, it was both horrifying but also fascinating to look and see what the art department had come up with. Now, talking about that too, because I feel like a lot of those zombies were still alive when we left, when we were at
you
the
got-
end of the movie. So that decay was just a natural progression, or did you guys
The
still think
fungus kept eating them.
oh God, that's horrifying.
Isn't it?
Ugh.
Well, that's why I couldn't do the apocalypse.
I
would not
said
do it.
100 times we'd be dead.
I would not do it. Please. Are you kidding me? First of all, you got to fight all day long every day? I don't even go to the gym that much. Like, are you kidding me? I couldn't even be in a gang. I'd be like, oh God, can we take a break?
You'd be in Zona.
Yeah, Zona would
No,
have been fine.
I wouldn't even be in Zona because, first of all, it's just too coordinated. Everybody in white, everybody. Like,
To
please.
Stepford.
Yeah, like, can I get a little blue up in here? Like, yeah. But no, yeah.
One of the old men would have totally dated you. You're so hot.
Oh, every one of those men would have dated her.
But you're not in the mood. You gotta fight. You gotta fight, or you looking for a river so you can take a bath. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you want him to take a bath before he
that's
tries
the
to hit
other
on you.
thing.
But not in Zona. You'd have been totally safe.
Oh, Zona.
You just would have had to have a super old
White
man.
man.
Sugar
Hey, I'm
daddy.
totally okay with it.
Yeah, well, I am blonde.
Okay,
So-
but the creepy pedicures, though.
That was creepy.
So since you've expressed your feelings about the blood and the dirt and the
Yes.
goo, how'd you feel about the foam?
Oh God.
Oh, the phone. Oh, the phone.
Oh God, that is a subject I'm still.
Itching about.
Oh God,
That's
you
a whole nother
know,
hour, isn't it?
it was a cute idea. It was a cute idea.
It was a nightmare.
Well, and
So we
I
heard.
edit myself because I've gotten in trouble for some things that I
Oh, yeah.
have
you
been
did,
opinionated
didn't you?
about. But you know, I just maybe if it was Baby Johnson's No More Tears,
It was toxic.
it might have been cute.
Oh, it was?
Well, it didn't mean to be.
Right, but it was very itchy.
It was,
Oh.
and it made you cough.
Oh.
And I mean, everything on. We did all the tests, and we said it's not noxious, and it's okay for humans. It's just
It passed the safe thing,
It
but
passed the safe
I'm
thing.
delicate. We're playing apocalypse. You know, I lotioned myself that
looked cool.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It looked
okay,
really
good.
cool. Really cool.
Oh, good.
We
good.
were talking to Alexander about it last week, and I think just having the industrial fan constantly blowing it in your guys' face must have
that was
been
the hard part.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the dialogue was in
Affecting
post. You don't say.
Well, Warren didn't have to talk. It was great. Yeah. No, and it's so funny because when the phone did blow, it kind of blew you away from the point you're supposed to be going
You're
to.
like, that's my mark over there.
Yes, they were like, you're supposed to drop. I was like, I don't see no mat. I can see that through the phone.
I feel like I'm 4 feet away from where I need to be, but I can't tell.
Yeah. They were like, we thought you would like it like it's a bubble bath. Well, then you should have got me some Calgon.
Anyway,
Yeah, that'd have been great.
Light some candles.
Yeah.
That's a completely different
Get me a
scenario.
romance
Totally.
novel.
It's an outtake in a back room. It's just like relaxed.
And I never left.
Open up the tanning bed, find a horrifying zombie in it,
Wow.
close the tanning bed.
See? Y'all wouldn't make it in the apocalypse either.
Oh, no, I totally wouldn't.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
And
I
the
wouldn't go
foam
near the
party was
tanning
not
bed,
fun.
but
But it's too many girl things we like. There's no way. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to get a piece of chicken. And, I mean,
Oh,
you know
that's
how many
right.
drive-throughs you can go get a piece of chicken? You wouldn't be able to get fries.
Everyone's on a vegetarian diet.
unless they find some
crickets by
bugs.
now.
Yeah.
No.
That one.
Thank you.
And that episode, that was your episode where they had crickets. I was like, they were like, you want to taste it now? They were like, you going to eat in the sink? No. I'm on Jenny Craig in the apocalypse. And crickets ain't on the list.
People eat crickets, though.
They do.
They
I
tried to
have a-
convince us with that. They told us it had all this protein and all great.
I have a friend who ate a spider on air once, so.
Ooh.
Because
Erica, you were
No.
watching it.
No.
She raised
that's
$10,000, and if she raised that much, she was going to
Pretty.
eat a spider on air, and she had a freeze-dried tarantula. And it
That isn't.
was a thing.
Oh, it was a
God.
tarantula.
And it was-
oh, it's
Oh,
freeze
yeah.
dried.
Not like a little
So it's
tiny-
crunchy, like
it was
a
she
soft
said
shell
it
crab.
tasted like wood chips.
Oh.
Why does she know what wood chips taste like? This is beside the point.
I don't question
But I
Erica.
have so many follow-up questions for after this.
I don't question Erica.
Okay.
With
Yes,
drinks, so you could
horrifying.
totally understand.
I'm gonna
She
go ahead
is
and
a
put,
lovely human being who raised a lot of money for charity.
I'm gonna go
Good
ahead
for
and
her.
put a cap on the
Eating
eating
bugs.
bugs
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
and
Bring it back
arachnids and
around.
everything else. Yeah.
Bring it back around a little bit. Oh God, you look like you have a question.
This is about the two part season finale. Can we talk about that yet?
Well,
We're almost in predictions territory.
Can we talk about
Predictions
Zona then?
Is it a two-part?
We're almost in predictions territory.
well, here's the thing.
We need to
guys.
hit up Black Sun
yeah.
stuff.
We
gotta
do.
talk about
We
that.
do.
Ooh, Black Sun,
Here's,
Black Sun.
here's the thing.
Really?
We
Why?
can't ask
look.
direct spoilers.
at
That's
that.
not cool
This
for
what we-
our
wait,
guests.
wait, this. Look.
Chatting.
Yeah.
We were talking about the
And this is what I do
show.
on the set, and I forget I might. I'd be like, you know what? Let me tell somebody one motherfucker. And I'd be like,
Or I'll ask her a question about, I need to know, but I'm going to just go,
Your clavicle. Oh.
and she got the ears. I'm like, you don't hear you? Okay.
Well, you're absolutely right. We need to talk about Black Rainbow and about the implications of finding out what this whole thing has actually been.
And Black Rainbow being on an Oregon Trail style floppy disk. For I mean, it's not
5.5 inch.
I haven't
Yes.
seen
Oh my
one of
gosh.
those since grade school. It's
And
just
let me tell
fantastic.
you how hard it was to find one.
I can imagine.
Oh,
Where
wow.
did they?
Actually, it was fantastic because we had this incredible thing. I don't know if people told you about it, but we had an exhibit at the museum.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
And the museum was wonderful to us, and they have archives upstairs. So all that Citizen Z stuff, where he's, the rows and rows of material,
And scrolling through the
we found
documents.
Yeah.
They have a whole museum section of like, here's what do you call that? Microfiche.
Microfiche.
Yes.
And all that stuff. So,
That's awesome.
Other than
That is so
1900
cool.
That's
technology.
and they had real stuff of with the United States seal on it that was from, legitimate United States. It didn't have anything to say.
But what will make sense is that because of such an ancient artifact as a floppy disk, is that when you see what they thought to do projected in the future, that they really were tripping. Because I can't say too much without giving it away. But yeah.
We don't want any
right.
spoilers.
spoilers.
Right. And here's one of my bosses, so I'm really like, what can I say? Oh, 2 words? Okay. All right. Friday?
I
Next
mean,
Friday.
we can cut it from the recording, but we are streaming live, so
I know.
I mean,
Hashtag renew.
things we've run into on other shows.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's delving into predictions to talk about the implications of this. But I guess the real question is, Mr. Sunshine is still going through with this fourth strike plan. Even though there's not really a Zona to go back to, there's no longer a Zona to restart the rest of the world. So why?
You would think he would have been in communication with the island to some level instead of like, I'm just gonna hop off on this plane. You guys seem good. I'm gonna go.
I
gonna-
think
I don't think he knows.
I think
No,
he's
he-
one of he does. Or
I don't think he does.
I don't think he knows.
No, I don't think he knows. I'm saying he should
Oh.
have like brought a radio and tried to communicate the way that our team and Citizen Z and Kaya and the Sky are always
Let's
kind
just
of
say
trying
there's
to.
a lot more in store. Yes. Sorry, they told me my mic was down. Is that better?
yeah,
Yes,
that's
you
pretty
now
obvious.
you
We
look like
can hear you better.
You look
Hello?
like she's in
I'm
there.
Howard Cosell.
She's gonna be dancing with Beyonce
I was,
Beyonce, that's better.
or
than
Janet.
Howard
whenever I'm on
Cosell.
the couch, I always feel like I'm a helicopter pilot. Or
It's true.
That was Keith. He came with the leather jacket and everything. Like he knew
Bomber
to come
jacket.
in,
Like,
of course.
boom.
Yeah, to come in like a little pilot.
But back to what I was saying is that there's a lot more than you're ever expecting about to hit you.
Oh,
So
jeez.
excited.
Oh,
I'm
I'm sure we're
nervous.
gonna be wrecked next week.
Well,
Yeah.
we're
Look,
gonna
I'm trying
watch
to
it and just
remember.
be
I was
like-
like, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like
I was in it.
that's-
Oh yeah, you were toast.
I feel
You were
like that's
toast.
a
You were
good
done.
segue. Ladies, do we have any more questions before we move on into official predictions territory?
Well, she got a book.
And
journal
again,
over there.
no spoiler questions.
Well, you can ask.
She
you
can
just
ask
won't
him, and
tell.
then maybe what we'll do is a winker.
You know what?
I
Give
don't
us the iTunes shout out so we can give chat a moment to catch up and see if they have any questions.
Give me just a moment. I was just about to do that. I will ask,
all
though,
right.
favorite behind the scenes moment from this season for you guys so far?
Sleep.
That happens?
No, that's why it's a favorite.
That's why it's so precious when you get
It
it.
is,
What
darling. I
favorite?
still ain't got no sleep. I'm coming from another job.
It's true.
What's
She
the favorite
didn't
moment?
That's a toughie.
Let me think. The whole season, really, because even with his challenges, because what it did was show us who we were. You know, who are you for real when you got to shoot a 9-day show in 5 days, and you itching from the foam, and you know, and the hours and the, you know, so it makes it, because it's so concentrated and condensed and quick and all that, it just makes you really value the fact that we were able to get through it, you know, without killing one another. You know?
Yeah, I think
nobody's
I think
pressing
that's-
charges.
It's the crew. The crew's just
crew.
remarkable. You know, they bring it as much as the actors do, and you don't see that. You know, you see it on screen, but
And
you don't.
through us, you see it
It's
because
through them that you see
yeah,
it.
because we are able to perform because of a crew that is pleasant, that is invested in the product. You know, it changes the game. It makes you wanna, you know, get in
Everybody
there and do
wants to give their A game. It's
Yeah.
really remarkable, and the caterers.
on that
We had
last
some kick-ass caterers.
on
this
that
year.
last
Friday.
day, on the last day. Who told them to get that?
And they got it themselves. It was
Crab.
Crab.
We had crab,
And
lobster.
lobster.
Wait a minute.
my
I thought I did
was
something
awesome.
really good. I felt like this was all for me. I was so excited. I was jumping up and down. And usually I'm like, you know, a little last to get in the line. I'm like trying to make sure I just keep on a salad and not really get to the carbs. But I got there first. And I was like, it's took a plate home. But yes, caterers were amazing, and they're Raider fans.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh.
Broncos Nation.
I'm a Bronco girl.
I know. I feel. I'm sorry.
Are we talking about football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this football we're talking about?
We
The
can.
foosball.
Oh no, I don't
Yeah.
even. I just need
We're
to clarify
diverse.
this.
We're
We
diverse.
are running super short on time,
Oh,
so
are.
around the table, really quick, rapid fire predictions. Cherry, go.
We're going to find out that Warren has been implanted with some sort of computer, and that's who's controlling her. And I think it's going to end up with someone that we saw already. Maybe Warren didn't really die. Maybe he had been bitten or had some sort of shot.
Who didn't die?
Who didn't die?
Didn't die? You said
Garnett.
Warren.
You say
I'm
She's
Warren.
Warren.
that's Warren.
I mean, Dr.
Teller.
Yes.
Dr.
That
Teller.
dude.
I just have you on my mind because I love the
Okay.
way you look on the show.
Michelle.
And
Okay.
you look in person.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
prediction is that the visions she has in her head, she's convinced are the right thing to do, and she's going to be faced with the dilemma of, is this exactly what they want me to do, or is this the right thing to do? And the team is going to help her figure it out.
Katie?
Twofold. Either the visions are actually going to be how to set off the black rainbow, and she has been misled the entire time, and or we're not going to get it confirmed whether or not the black rainbow goes off, because that's going to be our cliffhanger for the season.
My prediction, and somebody brought this up in chat, Warren never left Zona. She's been replaced by a robot duplicate or a clone.
Can I just
So you just went
say
swinging for the fences for
I
that
did.
one.
I did.
Pretty
the
good, girl.
uteruses.
Good going, girl.
I gotta give y'all some. I'm not spoiling it, but y'all just combine some things.
Are officially out of time. I love it. I love it. We are officially out of time. Ladies, do you guys have any upcoming projects that you can tell us about before we wrap up?
Well, I'm tardy because I'm working on a sitcom, a half hour called In the Cut on Bounce TV.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Yes, and I play a totally different character. She is coiffed.
Just get her nails done.
Yeah, I got polish on. They were like, "What happened to your nails?" I was like, "Long story, apocalypse."
Zombies.
Yeah.
Lots of zombie
Can't have a
murder.
manicure. Have a manicure in the apocalypse. Like, really?
And I directed a feature film called The Purple Rose, which will hopefully be out in the spring. It's done,
Awesome.
and it was starring Janelle Parrish from Pretty Little Liars.
Oh,
Awesome.
congratulations.
And Rob Estes and Michael
Awesome.
Welch.
Oh,
Michael Welch.
oh my God.
Wonderful.
I can't wait to do
Mac
something
is
else
in
with
it.
him.
Mac is back.
Perfect.
He needs his own born identity.
He kind of does. I
He
think
does,
so.
and I told him I want to play a jewel thief. I know it's going to happen for him. I just want to be this cat woman who's just this jewel thief.
I would watch that TV program.
Wouldn't you?
I would watch that.
I would.
I'd watch the heck out of that.
My gosh.
Well, again, congratulations, guys.
Thank you
and
very much.
congratulations on a fantastic season 4. I really, really hope we get to see season 5 this time next year.
Hashtag Renew Z Nation.
All of that. Where can the people go if they want to keep up with you guys and all of your upcoming projects?
Kellita Smith 1 on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm at Jodi Binstock. JodiBinstock.
Cannot say thank you enough for joining us tonight. And again,
welcome.
just
We love you
in
guys.
case
Thanks
we're
for
not
being such
back here.
fans.
Yeah, of course. And in case we're not back here next season, thank you guys all for always being so gracious
We're
with
gonna
your
be back
time.
here.
And
You're welcome.
I
We
hope
love y'all.
Well, you know what? Let's save that salutation.
Yeah.
Because maybe you bring us back and we'll have it here.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Here, here.
Well, on that note, Cherry, where can people go if they want to keep up with you?
Cherry_LA everywhere.
Can I use that?
Yes, you can.
And you can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Most of my shows are on hiatus at this point. The other show is Ruby. That is on Wednesdays.
And I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. Just check all that out to see what I'm up to. Again, thank you guys so much to our lovely
welcome.
guests. Thank you to everybody in the live chat. Thank you to everybody on the hashtag. Don't forget to go to iTunes to rate, subscribe, leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
You.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.